Most people who are thinking about buying a lake home are thinking about it most during the summertime. They're at their friend's lake place saying to their spouse, "Can you even imagine us living on a lake one day?" But hang on, because I'm about to tell you why right now is actually the best time to buy a lake home. And what I'm going to say applies whether you're looking in Minnesota, Maine, Montana, or Michigan. And I do want to know where you're looking, so make sure to drop me a comment below where your dream lake home is located. Now, at the time of filming, we've just kicked off the holiday season, which for most people involves sitting around eating way too much with family and friends, being super busy with festive activities and baking and buying gifts. But in the real estate market, the holiday months also mark a lull in the real estate market in most markets around the country. Why is that? Because people get busy doing the stuff that I just said. Plus, combined with the fact that in many places around the country, the weather gets cold. That's why I'm filming this video in front of a pool. My family and I escaped the cold Minnesota weather to go down to Florida for a few days for some fun in the sun. But this seasonal real estate slowdown presents an opportunity for you to scoop up a lake home. In Minnesota and in many real estate markets, especially in the north, late November through early January are the quietest months for home sales. That's a yearly trend that we see every year. But that doesn't mean there aren't any lake homes for sale. On the contrary, in Minnesota, where I live, there are over 1,100 waterfront properties that are currently for sale. Now, some people have hesitation that they don't want to buy a lake home without being able to see what the Lakeshore is like. Is it sandy? Is it mucky? But guess what? In many parts of Minnesota, the lakes are still open right now, so you can do that. They will be freezing pretty soon, though. So did you know that information is also available through the DNR as well, the Department of Natural Resources? You probably didn't know this, but you can find out a lot on the Department of Natural Resources website. They have a grading system where they assign the lake a grade, like your teachers did in school, of A through F. They also assign a score of 1 through 100 for lake health. You can look up the water quality on their lake search function. You can look up a lake's water clarity or how far the light can penetrate into a lake's water. And you can look it up by year too. Some of the information goes back to the 1970s. So you can clearly see what direction the lake water is moving in. You can look up all the types of fish that are in these lakes on the biology page as well as what plants are in the lake and the stewardship of the community around the lake. I'm not even kidding. This information is available to you, which refers to the character of the land and the people within the lake shed and the actions that the community is taking to maintain the long-term health of the lake. There's also a map of the lake and the water depth all around the lake at different points. This is information you would 100% look up whether you're buying in summertime when you can wade into the lake yourself or during the winter after the ice is frozen and you can't physically wade in on your own. But unless you're a biologist, the DNR has access to vastly more information than your naked eye can see about the lake. So don't let you not being able to see the lake bottom for yourself stop you from buying a lake home during the wintertime, when this is the one time of year when you're going to have significantly less people competing for that same house. The next thing to consider goes along with the seasonality that we're talking about. Lake homes don't look quite as beautiful when the sunlight isn't able to sparkle off the water, or the gorgeous green grass is covered with snow, or is just brown because it's dead. But if you look beyond that and remember that you're choosing a property that you've done your research on and you know the lake is a good one, then you might be able to get a lake home with much less competition from other buyers than at other times of the year, because other people really are distracted by the holidays, or they might just be unwilling to buy a lake place without putting their feet in the water and feeling the lake bottom for themselves. Financially, because there's less buyer demand this time of year, we often see more of a difference in list price versus close price, or what the home actually ends up selling for, than we do in the spring and summer months such as April or May. And less demand for real estate also means more ability on the part of the buyer to be able to negotiate. Some of the perks I've been able to negotiate for my buyers during the slower months include seller-paid concessions, like a seller-paid contribution to the buyer's closing costs, seller-paid home warranty, which lots of people aren't aware of this, but a home warranty covers almost all the major appliances and mechanicals in the property, such as the furnace and the AC condenser and the fridge. And if one of these appliances goes out while a home warranty is in place, the homeowner only needs to pay the call-out fee for the technician, usually around $100. And if the technician isn't able to fix it, they replace it free of charge. I've had buyers have 4 major appliances and mechanicals go out during the year-long coverage period of the home warranty and get over $14,000 worth of new appliances and mechanicals, with the buyer only needing to pay technician's call-out fee. But the home warranty company that you go with is super important. Most of the companies are borderline con artists who are happy to take your money every month, but as soon as something breaks, they dodge your calls, or they don't answer the phone, or they have super long hold times on the phone and then take weeks and weeks to get out there and leave you hanging. So if you need a recommendation for a great home warranty company that will follow through when something breaks, make sure to reach out to me. There's a link in the comments to my contact information, and I'll hook you up with the same home warranty company that my husband and I personally use. During these slower holiday months, I've also been able to negotiate the sellers leaving specific furniture items for the buyers free of charge, the sellers covering different repair items that came up during the inspection period, and also seller paid rate buy down, which can have a more significant impact on cost savings over time than a seller paid contribution to closing costs. Now, all of this isn't to say that I haven't been able to negotiate these items during busier times as well. I have, but these kinds of requests and concessions are a heck of a lot easier to ask for when a seller's beautiful lake home isn't presenting quite as well, because it's not summertime and there aren't a lot of showing requests coming through anymore because everyone is so busy with Christmas shopping and Hanukkah candle lighting that they've put their lake home search on hold until they get through the holidays. The other thing you need to know is that it is not uncommon for sellers to withdraw their listing during the holidays or pull it off the market or make it unavailable for showings. But a good real estate agent will be onto this like a dog on a bone and make sure that you have access to homes that aren't even necessarily on the market, so you have the inside scoop. I have access to lots of off-market and pre-market opportunities for my clients as well. Who you work with matters, and when it comes to a popular kind of property like a lake home, make sure you're working with someone who is well connected. I love to hear from people, whether you're looking in Minnesota and Wisconsin, where I live and work, or elsewhere. I have a network of agents who will find a fantastic property for you. So make sure to reach out no matter where you're looking. It's important to note that if you're looking for a lake home in Florida, Florida marches to the beat of its own drum, and November through April tend to be the opposite and be the busiest months of the year for their real estate market. There's an influx of seasonal residents, adorably referred to as snowbirds, and these are the most popular times of the year for tourists from up north to come visit as well. People just like me visiting from Minnesota to escape the cold. November through April also have beautiful temperatures this time of year, much more wonderful than summertime when it can be incredibly hot. And it is not within hurricane season, which is during summer and early fall months. So if you're looking for a lake home in Florida, please know 2 things. First, that you can reasonably assume that all freshwater bodies of water in Florida have alligators, so you can't just go swimming around in lakes in Florida, although you can water ski in them because you water ski faster than the alligators can get you. And also, please disregard everything I've said in this video up until this small segment, because it really doesn't apply if you're looking for a lake home in Florida, except for where I said that I have a great network of agents. That does apply. I do know excellent people here who will take great care of you. YouTube is going to suggest an awesome video for you to watch now, so I recommend that you watch it and make sure to let me know where you're tuning into this video from.